Good afternoon, and I want to say to all of you that have made it through to spring break, welcome back. I know that I had an awesome spring break, and I just feel really rested and just feel really good about spring break. Good afternoon again, and I just want to thank you for keeping your dial set on 88.7 FM KAZI. We are the voice of Austin, and I am Pam Wade, your host for Educating Our Children. I have a really special guest in the place today, Miss Roxanne Evans. Roxanne is with the Austin Independent School District Communications Department. So I want to welcome you again, Miss Roxanne, to KAZI.
Thank you very much, Pam. I am pleased to be here.
And I just want to say again that we do appreciate you coming in to share the really good information and let parents know what's going on at Austin Independent School District, because a lot of times we as parents, we may not physically go to the school and be able to attend those meetings and the different things like that. So it's certainly a plus for you to be here. Thank you.
Well, you're welcome. It is certainly important that our parents are informed and engaged, and anything I can do in that regard, I will be glad to do.
And again, we do appreciate you. We appreciate you greatly. Miss Roxanne, what are we going to talk about today?
Well, I wanted to give an update on the turnaround schools and some of the good things going on in our East Austin schools. As you recall, when I was here a few months back, I mentioned the turnaround schools, and to refresh people's memory, those are 8 schools, 3 high schools, and 5 middle schools, predominantly in East Austin, but also southeast and then 1 north, that receive state and federal funding to make improvements at their campuses. And the support that they get from the state and federal funding includes additional professional development for teachers and for principals. For example, all of the schools have worked closely with the University of Virginia in getting some really well-developed programs to help both the students and the staff work well together and succeed.
And Roxanne, I understand that those schools the high schools are LBJ, Reagan, and Travis.
Correct.
And the middle schools are Burnett, Garcia, Martin, Mendez, and Pierce. Correct?
That's right. And did you mention Garcia?
I did.
Okay.
Mention Garcia. And the other thing that I wanted to say, I know that a lot of parents have heard of this program, and they've heard it as the Early College Start program. Correct?
Well, the early college high school program is predominantly at LBJ and Reagan. There's an early college prep academy at Pierce, and all 3 of those schools are moving very quickly and very decisively to get programs in place for students in those schools. And what that will mean at the high school level is that students at Reagan and LBJ can, depending on how they select their courses, exit with both a traditional high school diploma and a 2-year degree from Austin Community College. It's a wonderful opportunity for students, and one that the campuses, the principals, and the families are very excited about.
It sounds exciting, Roxanne, and with that 2-year degree, that's an associate's degree. So that would be up to 60 hours is what they would be earning.
That is correct.
That's awesome. That is really wonderful. So will that start next year, 2011, 2012, or has it already started this year?
It will start this fall. In fact, there are meetings going on both the Reagan and LBJ campuses to kind of help the staff work with students in terms of course selection this fall, so that students will be on the right track to take advantage of these course offerings.
That is awesome. I think that a lot of the kids and their parents, I'm sure, again, that they are excited about it. And I know that a lot of our kids will definitely take advantage of that. Having that jump start is what I call it. So you're already jumping into that associate's, and, you can go to do your undergraduate, graduate degree, or what have you. But it's awesome that they're having that jump start early in high school. So that's a good thing.
Yes, we're very excited about it.
Roxanne, let's talk about kids that may want to attend Reagan or LBJ that may not be in that district. Is AISD doing any type of transfers, or how would kids actually get to those schools, or Travis? Do you know?
Well, right now the focus is on the students who are already there,
okay,
or who are scheduled to be there. And one of the really nice things about these programs is that the district thinks that these schools will be able to attract students in the attendance area who had opted to go to other schools. So we see it as a chance to bring students back to these schools, which will be a big benefit for these schools.
So if a parent is listening to this program right now and not know where their kids may be attending next year, this would be a good opportunity to talk to the kids, to talk about the turnaround program, and also to contact the district to see if it's possible for their kid to transfer into one of these schools.
Certainly, certainly. I would encourage parents to talk to their campus principal at the school they're at, as well as do some outreach to either Reagan or LBJ to find out what opportunities may exist for students outside those attendance areas.
And you know something else, Roxanne, that I always inform parents, that if you know that your child is attending whatever high school or middle school, even elementary for that matter, you can always contact that school and ask that you come in and just have a one-on-one with that principal or the counselors. Look at the school, maybe do a tour of the school. So it's definitely available for them to do so.
Definitely, and all the principals at these campuses, they welcome parent and prospective student visits. They're going to be planning a series of informational fairs for parents to come and get information. So certainly there's a very open door policy at these schools.
Awesome. And the thing about that, Roxanne, is that there's no dumb question for a parent to ask. You know, feel free to ask all type of questions because, again, you're taking your kids to that school. And anytime that our kids are attending a school, we need to know as much as possible. I think I've had too much spring break. I can't even talk today. But it's really important for parents to know as much as possible, as well as join some of those committees that the school has, whether it's the PTA, maybe the booster club. You know, there's a lot of committees and different things that parents can certainly serve on to assist our schools, you know. So when you're attending those meetings, you want to ask those questions. What do you have to offer here, not only for my child, but for me?
Exactly, exactly. And you're exactly right. There is no dumb question when it comes to getting information that's needed to help your children be successful. And all of the principals are very open to providing information, and they certainly would give you information on how to join PTA, the campus advisory committee, so they welcome engaged parents who ask a lot of questions.
And that's important with that campus advisory committee. There are some parents that have told me that they didn't even know that committee existed. And we know that that committee assists the principal with the budget, with making decisions. That's a decision-making committee there on that campus. And, you know, if you are a parent that has leadership abilities, I think every parent does, that may be a committee that you may want to ask about and serve on that committee to see how you can assist the principal as well as those administrators there, because we both know, Roxanne, that, you know, when you're working as a team, you can solve so many more problems. Yeah, so I'm glad you brought that campus advisory committee up. What about, Roxanne, with this school turnaround? What does I guess the district with what they're thinking about now is really getting kids endorsed in college and getting them used to maybe the college life, maybe not living on their own, but academically, you know, that there's not going to be anyone babysitting them there in college. You know, that a lot of these things, it's an on-your-own type project or working with another team. So I think it's really good that the district is looking at this, and I think it's going to help our children to be more responsible. Well, you know, here you guys say scholars. You know, it's not the students, it's the scholars. Exactly. And I think that's we need to start calling our students scholars because that's what they are.
Exactly.
You know?
And you're exactly right. The district is trying to create a college-bound culture where students, even in elementary schools, are thinking about college. And if you go, for example, to Pierce Middle School and some of the schools that feed into Pierce, you see pennants on the walls from colleges all over the country. Teachers have brought in their T-shirts from their colleges. And so students on a daily basis have visual reminders of college, and they know that the goal is available and it's tangible to them.
And I'm glad you mentioned that because I've been at several of the schools I've visited, and I see that. And lots of the kids will say, "Well, my teacher attended this college or that college," so they're starting to speak that language and to know that college is inside their reach, it's not outside the reach. And then also, Roxanne, there are some kids that may not attend college; they may attend technical colleges, and I think that a lot of the campuses now are inviting recruiters to come in and talk to kids. I see that sometimes they'll have tables set up during the lunchtime. And I think that's good because our kids may not be exposed to the different colleges, universities, technical schools, or what have you. So, we're making it possible at all ends for our kids. And I think that's a good sign.
Well, you're exactly right. There are a variety of educational options after high school. And so the goal is that to make scholars understand that high school isn't the end, it is really just the beginning.
It is just the beginning. And something, after high school, no more babysitting. We become adults that are responsible, that are going to be, wonderful folks for the future. So I think that it is a good thing again that that those doors are open. I know that UT just had Explore UT.
Exactly.
And so many parents and kids attended, and they said, "We didn't know that they had all of those things to offer there." So it's a good thing that a lot of these colleges are opening up their doors to invite parents and kids to come in. And I don't remember that. I don't remember colleges coming when I was in high school, So I think that, as we know that sometimes exposure is not there, that we have to make that exposure happen on the campuses for our scholars.
Exactly, that's correct. And many colleges are realizing that they just can't sit and wait for students to come. The higher education market is very competitive.
Yes, it is.
So colleges are doing a better job on their end, and hopefully school districts are doing a better job to make those opportunities available for their scholars.
And when I took my daughters off to college, I didn't know the questions to ask. I didn't know what to expect, but I had several teachers or counselors that worked with me, and I just asked questions, and I took me a little notepad to the college and asked, well, I understand that you guys offer this or that or what have you. And it opened up the line of communication. It opened up, that we have different scholarships or different programs. And again, as a parent, I think that every parent needs to go and at least spend a week wherever their kids decide to go to school so that they can kind of look at things and see, you have a lot of fun, but also you're looking at their academic future. What are they going to do, who are they going to be, later on in life. And it's really, so you kind of learn with them. So I'm saying that to parents because I don't think that any parent really knows what to expect because every college operates differently.
That's true. And so college visits are somewhat of a fact-finding mission.
Yes, it is. Absolutely. And Roxanne, my daughters attended the same college, and things changed after one daughter went on and then the other one attended, and registration was a lot different. So don't think just because your kids have gone to one college that it's going to be the same 4 or 5 years down, because it changes.
It does indeed.
Yeah, and when that change happens, you have to kind of kick in gear and be ready. But I tell you that there's so much support. I know that when both of my daughters attended, we had like a little family of support. They meet kids from all over the world that attended those colleges, and those professors and the counselors, they're just awesome. Even the president, would come in and talk to the kids during the lunchtime. So with parents, I can say that I am one of those parents that I ask questions, and I'm there, and I'm going to, if you don't tell me the answer, we're going to get somebody that will. So I just think that a lot of times that we think that those things are outside our reach, and it's not.
No. And the kind of parent you are is part of the reason your daughters are so successful, because you were there asking the questions, getting
all
the
the time.
information.
all the time, Roxanne. And the thing about it is that, the professors and some of the folks at the college would say, we wish that other parents were just as involved. But involvement is key. I think that a lot of times that our parents feel that elementary is the time to be involved, in which you're building that solid foundation in elementary. We talk about the reading, the writing.
Right.
Yeah. So in arithmetic, those are the things that solid foundation. But when you go on to middle school and high school, that engagement needs to be there. Parents need to walk on that campus and find out what's going on. And, you talked about not only taking tours, but even sitting in the classroom.
Exactly.
And I think that that's important, at the middle school and the high school. They talk about the middle school, the middle, what's that, the middle age kid?
Right.
Yeah. And so in that middle 6th through 8th grade, it's a time that our kids are really having to deal with some difficult times. I think middle school is more difficult than elementary, high school, and college put together. It's just something about middle school, I don't know. Yeah. But I can say to parents that you certainly need to be involved at every level.
I agree. At elementary school, frequently the children will run home and tell you everything.
Everything.
But when they get to middle school, you sometimes have to try a little harder to get the
Yes, you do.
information.
Yes, you do.
That's why involvement, and so your child knows you're going to be involved also. That makes it easier for them to come and tell you things that you need to know.
Absolutely, because sometimes, when I used to take my kids to school in middle school, they would say, well, you can just put us out here at the corner. I know, I'll just roll you up to the front door. I take my niece every morning to school. And, every morning I park her at that front door, and she doesn't say, you can let me out here. She gets out at the front door. My daughters have probably already told her, she's going to take you to the front door, so don't even try that. But they used to say, can we walk today? No, I'm going to take you to school, Mm-hmm. And when they don't want you there, that's the time to be there.
Exactly.
So I do hope that all parents that are listening to us today will try to take advantage of the turnaround program at these different schools as well as the middle schools. There's some other things that we're going to talk about as well, correct?
Well, I just wanted to, because there's so many good things going on in our East and Northeast Austin schools, I just wanted to highlight a couple of them to make sure your listeners knew about them. I'm sure people know that the girls basketball team at LBJ High School made it to the state tournament for the first time.
Congratulations to Coach Renee and the kids. She attended school with me.
Oh, excellent.
So I know Renee, yes. Awesome lady.
Excellent.
They're very fortunate to have a coach like her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also last week during South by Southwest, which I avoided because I don't like crowds.
I know.
We had a group of LBJ students from JAG Radio, which is the campus radio station, broadcast newscasts from South by Southwest. So that was a great learning opportunity for the students.
I bet.
And it also provided a level of exposure for the campus.
That is awesome, Roxanne. Now, also, I noticed that there are going to be community budget conversations coming up as well.
We have a lot of opportunities for community engagement coming up. There is this Thursday at 6:30 p.m. at Reagan High School. There will be a meeting on the preliminary budget, and people are encouraged to attend. And if you can't attend the one this Thursday on March 31st, there's going to be a meeting at Bowie High School in South Austin. And there are also a number of other events coming up that your listeners may be interested in. For example, on April 9th, there is going to be a fundraiser to allow students who are going to be attending the Austin All-Star Band 2011 College Tour to wash your car and earn funds to cover their expenses for that trip. So that's going to be a community-wide event that we're hoping people will come out and support. I mentioned Pierce in the Early College Prep Academy. They're going to be having an informational meeting for parents on April 12th. So we hope parents in the Pierce attendance area will attend that meeting and learn about the program and the good work Ms. Trinae Allen is doing there as well. And on April 16th, we have the Hispanic Futures Conference, which is going to be at ACC Riverside campus. And on April 23rd, we have the Men and Boys Conference, which is going to be at Dobie Middle School.
At 10 a.m. at Dobie.
Exactly.
I know that Michael Lofton in that group, he's added to his staff, and they're doing a really good job with getting out and doing outreach to our African American men and boys. So congratulations to them. And I just kind of wanted to back up to talk about Mr. Larry Jackson and the All-Star Band. That was a dream of his a couple of years ago, Roxanne, and he made it happen. So congratulations to Mr. Larry Jackson and all those folks that are really working hard to pull that off. And I see every year the kids, they are so excited about playing in the band and marching. So congratulations.
Yeah, and I would echo that. Mr. Jackson is a wonderful advocate for the school district and for the students, and he gives so much of himself and his time to help the students that he really deserves congratulations for making this happen.
I know, every meeting or any time that I'm at any community event, he just shows up with his flyers and, getting out the information about the tour. So I think that he's done a really good job, grassroots effort.
Exactly.
And I wanted to announce as well, Roxanne, I know that Miss Barbara Johnson Langston has been on the show before, but Miss Barbara is having her historical Black College University tour. And they tour schools in Mississippi and Louisiana. And that will be on this year from June 8th to June 17th. And Barbara is having a meeting on Wednesday, April 23rd, this Wednesday. And that meeting is at 7:30 p.m. So any parent that's interested in their child attending or maybe wanting to get more information about the college tour can contact Barbara. And Barbara's number is 513-663-3974. Or you can contact her at 512-721-9951. And again, that is Miss Barbara Johnson Langston. And I think that she's been doing this for about 10 years now. And she said that the kids have to write an essay about the colleges and the historical events that they visited. And, they, at the end of the tour, they talk about it. So, that's a lesson that you can, it's a life learning lesson. So I want to say to Barbara, thank you to take time with our kids. And I know that Barbara does a lot of tutoring as well as mentoring, at her church. So we have lots of community leaders that are really leading the way to help our kids. And for the parents that are out there, if ever you need any help, that the help is there.
It is.
All you have to do is just ask the question, where can I go for help for this or that, for my scholar?
Exactly.
So there's a lot happening, and I'm glad that you come on the show to talk to parents about what's out there. And the other thing is that with parents, what I think that parents need to know is that you don't have to ask anyone where you fit in. You just fit in. Just go.
Exactly.
Just do it. And I think that what we have to realize as parents or grandparents or guardians or friends or even advocates for our young people, that when we show up, that they do well. That's the team that wins. The team that works together is a team that wins. Exactly. Any other information that you have for our listeners today, Ms. Roxanne?
Well, I would echo what you said, that our students, our scholars are very fortunate to have a lot of community resources made available to them to help them to succeed. And I would encourage parents to get out there and push their students and for students to take advantage of the opportunities that are out there.
Absolutely. And, Roxanne, I wanted to say something else, that, there's no way that you can make it by yourself. When you talked about my success as a parent, I just want to say that, I had so much support out there. Every time I picked up the phone and made a phone call, someone was always there to help myself or my girls with whatever their needs were. So I didn't do it by myself. So to any parent out there that has a child or scholar that whether it's attending college, whether it's attending elementary school, middle, or high school, you need to get that support, and you need to get that team that's there to support you and your children. And you can't do it by yourself. Lots of times we think, well, if I don't do it by myself, does that make me a failure? Absolutely not. I don't have all the answers, but together working with that team, they have the answers.
You're right about that.
And it's so important to get that support that you need. And I know that there are lots of counselors out there that are probably listening, Roxanne. And I can say hats off to those counselors, because those counselors, they know, exactly what it takes for a child for a scholar to be academically successful. So to the parents out there, don't hesitate to contact your child's counselor and set up an appointment with them. And, I know this time of year is a hard time of year for kids. They're wondering whether or not they pass their classes, or, whether or not they're going to graduate. And I just want to say, for my little special engineer here, she just informed me that she made an A in her class. I'm not sure which class it was, but it was ACC. Excellent. Amber attends ACC. Excellent. And she was really worried about her grade in this particular class. And so she did really well. Congratulations to Amber. Congratulations. She's doing really well in school. She has lots of support. The whole KZI family helps Amber. And, when she comes in with that look on her face, we know that we need to give her that little extra nudge. But she's done a great job, and we're very proud of her. And, parents, let your kids know that you're proud of them. True. Let them know that, you've made mistakes yourself. And when you make a mistake, that's just building character.
True.
Get up, shake it off, and let's start over again.
That's right.
Yeah, really important. So I want to say to all my listeners, thank you for listening. And I look forward to talking to you guys on next Monday. Roxanne, thank you so much for being here. And, I have to acknowledge you and your husband, Kelly Evans. Kelly was one of those folks that, was on my team. And I'm telling you, he did an excellent job every time I picked up the phone to ask him a question. So I have to thank Kelly. And I, thank you as well for allowing Kelly to come to the community meetings. And, he's one of those people, every time you look up, there he is. Yep. Yeah, so he's always doing some great things with our scholars.
That's good to hear.
Thank you again, Miss Roxanne. And I will talk to you on next Monday.